Welcome to Institute of Quality and Reliability. Hi, this is Hemant.
SPC-2 Proportion Defective and Number Defective charts. We recommend viewers to watch our previous video on statistical process control before watching this video. Link is provided in the description of this video. In this video, we will illustrate applicability of proportion defective or P chart and number defective or NP chart with application examples in Microsoft Excel. We will first illustrate an example of proportion defective chart or P chart of delay in issuing insurance policies. An insurance company maintains data of policies processed every day, and that is in column sample size Ni, and the number of policies delayed out of this sample size. Every day they maintain this data, so day and date is mentioned here. We just add a sample number here for our reference. Now when we want to plot a P chart of this, we must first calculate the proportion defective every day or proportion delayed every day here. For that, in the PI column, we enter a formula equal to policies delayed divided by total number of policies that were processed, and I can just pull it down for all the rows. So we now know proportion delayed every day. Now we have to compare this with the average proportion delayed, and for that we take a total of all the policies delayed and all the sample sizes. So we just click here on summation and we just click, or we can even copy this formula. So the P bar would be total number of policies delayed divided by total number of policies processed, which is 0.0915 or 9.15% if you want to say. Now we can enter this value in the column mean for plotting purposes. So we'll just say here, and we can say equal to the previous row, and then just copy that so that in all the rows we have the data of average number of policies delayed. And observe that this data is collected for 25 days. Generally, it is recommended in statistical process control charts that we must have at least 25 subgroups to plot the trial control limits. So this is the data of 25 days. Now we must calculate the upper control limit and lower control limit. Since the sample size is fluctuating, we use the P chart, and the formula for in that case would be P bar plus or minus 3 square root of P bar 1 minus P bar upon Ni. The denominator is the sample size on that particular day. So I enter UCL equal to P bar, that is mean, plus 3 times star square root of P bar 1 minus P bar, so that is again G2 star 1 minus G2, and that is the numerator, but I have to divide this by Ni, which I must divide this by 100 and then complete the bracket. Yeah, so the upper control limit for the first day is 0.178, and the lower control limit will be minus P bar minus the same number, so that is mean minus 3 star SQRT into bracket P bar star 1 minus G2 I can enter, and divided by Ni, that is 100 on that day. So the lower control limit is 005, so I can just copy this formula in all the rows. The last 2 rows it has copied, we don't want this. So here now we are ready to plot this chart. For that we will just select, okay, we will select the day, date, Actually we don't, yeah, we may select both. Let us see whether Excel can do that. So I now select the PI, mean and UCL and LCL for this chart, and I will just say insert recommended charts. Let us see what it does. Of course this is, yeah, it has given the right chart. We can easily make formatting changes on Excel. Here is a reformatted chart. So observe that wherever the sample size is less, the control limit will be wider, whereas when the sample size is more, the control limits are narrower. That is because Ni appears in the denominator. Let us now understand interpretation rules for attributes charts. Only 4 rules are used to detect out of control points in case of attributes charts. This is because normal distribution is only approximate in case of attributes charts. Rule 1, a point beyond control limits. Rule 2, 9 points in a row on one side of the center line. Rule 3, 6 points in a row, all increasing or all decreasing. And Rule 4, 14 points in a row alternating up and down. Now observe that on 14th August, the proportion of policies delayed was more. Now this requires an investigation as to whether we had put some trainee technicians or processors or something else was there or whatever. We must investigate the reason for this, or maybe absenteeism was there more. So we have to investigate the cause of these delayed policies on this particular day. This is beyond the control limit, so it is an assignable or special cause. There is one more assignable cause that can be seen in the chart. You can pause the video and I will wait for a few seconds if you are able to identify. Could you identify? For those who could, congratulations. From 23rd August to 4th September, there are 9 points, consecutive points, which are below the center line. Now there are so many points below the center line and 9 points one after another. It's called a long run, as we have seen in the previous video. So this is a long run below the center line, showing an improvement in the process because the number of policies that have been delayed or proportion of policies that have been delayed after 23rd August is significantly less compared to the previous average. So you can actually revise the control limits from 23rd August onwards. We can also observe this in the table. As you can see, from 23rd August to 4th of September, all these points of proportion delayed, they are all less than the mean value of 0.0915. So these are all consecutive 9 points, and the probability of consecutive 9 points below the central line is very low. To be precise, it is 0.5 raised to 9, 0.5 raised to the power 9, and that is 0.0019. So this can happen by chance with this probability of 0.001953. This is, incidentally, this probability is called probability of false alarm. We will now illustrate an example of number defective chart or NP chart of number of gears found crack in a manufacturing process. A manufacturing company has collected data of cracked gears on every day for about 26 days. Data is shown in columns B, C and D. In column B, you will observe the date. In column C, the number of gears inspected every day, which is exactly common at 250, and the number of gears which were found cracked on a particular day. Now, since the subgroup size is exactly constant at 250, we can use NP charts. And you can see the control limit formula in the table here, which we will look at. But first, we need to calculate the total inspected versus total crack. So total inspected is, I use the summation function. It is 6500, and the total number of gears cracked is 360, and with that the NP bar becomes 360 divided by 26, as there are 26 days. So that is 13.84, and P bar is equal to 360 divided by 6500. I can reduce the decimals here in both the cases to about 3 decimals maybe. Now NP bar I will just copy from here and then copy from the upper row, and then I think I can copy this formula for all 26 days. Now the upper control limit can be calculated using the formula shown in the table here. Look at the formula on the lower side. UCL NP is equal to NP bar plus 3 into square root of NP bar 1 minus P bar, and LCL is given by NP bar minus 3 into square root NP bar 1 minus P bar. So let us use this formula and calculate the upper control and lower control limits of the NP chart. So UCL is NP bar plus 3 star is QRT into bracket NP bar, that is E2 star 1 minus P bar. But when I copy the P bar, I use the absolute copying by pressing function F4. I think that should be correct. And for LCL, I calculate NP bar minus 3 times the same quantity, SQRT into bracket NP bar, that is E2 star 1 minus P bar 0.055. But again I copy with function F4 so that it is with dollar signs. So the UCL and LCL, which are common to all the points now, I can just copy. So now we can plot the NP chart, for which we select the date field or date column. With control button we select the remaining 4 columns for plotting, and we click on the recommended charts. That's it. We are done. So this is the NP chart, and we can see that all points are within control limit, so the process is under control. It's a stable process, but the average non-conforming or average NP bar is 13.8. So on an average, out of 250, 14 gears are getting rejected or crack every day. So we must make efforts to reduce this rejection level. And as it is said usually in case of all attribute charts, we should make sure, or we should take action so that these charts become redundant. In simpler words, we make the rejection to 0 so that charting is not required. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you found it worth watching. Please subscribe to Institute of Quality and Reliability channel if you want to watch more videos on reliability engineering, Six Sigma and statistical quality control. Click the subscribe and bell icon for getting intimations on the future videos.